Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our newest edition of Shots of Legends. Today we bring you Lora. Lora is an actress, model, teacher, makeup artist from Corsicana in Texas. Today we'll be talking about her life, her career, her goals, her plans for the next few years. So stay tuned into our conversation. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, nice to see you. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to have you here on Untitled Legends.
Likewise, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so how's your day going?
Pretty good. I went outside and weed-eated my fence line because the grass really isn't growing. It's really hot in Texas, like super hot right now.
Yeah.
But the weeds are still getting tall, so just got through
Yeah.
doing some yard work. So pardon me for not having my makeup on, but it's too hot for that right now.
No, you look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Laura, can you tell a little bit about who is Laura? What your plans, your goals for the next few years?
I hope to expand my acting career and modeling career in the next few years. I also direct, do hair and makeup. I love any chance to be creative. I've also started writing again, which I mean, it's been years. But I'm a creative who likes to do all kinds of stuff, whatever. I'm kind of go with the flow. I like bringing stories to life and changing people's ideas and views on things.
No, that's great. That's great. So can you tell a little bit about the process of creating an idea? You said you write sometimes. Can you speak a little bit about that? The process of conceiving an idea, turning the idea into a reality, or taking something from your mind into the paper?
Honestly, it's a lot of it is just brainstorming. A lot of my ideas come while I'm busy doing something else, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I have an app that I use to make notes on things so I can go back to them later. And I've always been like this with whatever I do. Um, and then I'll discuss them with friends, sometimes people that are involved in the project, sometimes people that are just people I go to talk about my ideas.
Yeah.
And then once we hit the planning phases, I take into account a lot of what other, whoever's going to be on the project. I discuss with them what we're thinking about, some ideas, some things that may need to be tweaked here and there. And then once we have a plan, we do it.
Yeah. So I know you do a lot of things. You makeup artist, you write, you actress. How do you manage these all skills?
I don't sleep much. Honestly, because like when I'm not in front of a camera, when I'm not on a runway, I am teaching 6th grade math at a public school. So I do a lot of things. I really honestly, I don't sleep a whole lot, but it's because my brain goes nonstop. And it's actually a really common thing for educators to sit and cycle at night when they're trying to sleep. They cycle. They think about all the things that they could have done but didn't have time to do, and so then it gets thrown on a list for the next day. I'm like that with everything that I do.
Yeah,
whatever it might be.
No, that's cool. Sounds cool. I know you're a teacher. You at Corsicana ISD. Can you speak a little bit about that part of your life?
Oh my gosh, I have been teaching for, I think I just finished year 18, and I've done lots of things in that. I started as an aide, and then I went into the classroom. Then I was a department chair for a while for math. Then I went to administration for 4 years, and I was a director of instructional technology for a little while. And, that was fun, but I don't feel like I had as much of an impact working with the adults as much as I would have with the kids. So I went back to the classroom, and I love it. Like my place in the world has always been one of helping kids figure things out. And so I love it. I love it. I have kids right now that are them and their parents are begging me to move to 7th grade with them, and I would love to because I love them so much. But I wouldn't have time for my other pursuits in life if I start over in a whole new grade level with new standards and whatnot. So I was like, I would love to, but I can't. You know, at least this way I have everything planned, and I really don't, you know, just a little bit of changes here and there, and I still have time to do acting and everything else. But so yeah, it's the first time in a very long time that I'm putting myself first.
Well, that's cool. I love the way you talk about kids. You might be a great mom. You might be a wonderful mom.
Oh, my kids, listen, my kids are grown and they're wonderful little men. They really are. I enjoy spending time with them and getting to hang out because they're like younger, better versions of me, and dudes at that. So
yeah, is it good? I mean,
oh, it's awesome.
Okay.
It's awesome. Like I said, I've been teaching for a long time. I have a lot of friends that are teachers, because when I was at administration, I would be on all 8 campuses every day. And so I got to know a lot of the teaching staff across the district. And I even have friends that teach at the college. And so when they have my kids in class and they get to tell me stories about my kids, like, it's hysterical because they're like, they're so much like you. And I'm like, I know. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. It just depends.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's really good things. I'm very proud of my boys. They're very good little men.
Yeah, cool. But what about your bigger plans? What are the bigger plans in your career when you analyze your path as an actress, as a model? What do you think are the bigger goals that you reserve for the next years?
One of my goals from day one with modeling has always been to break some of the standards and let people know that it doesn't matter how old you are, what size you are. I am not built like an actual like runway model. I'm a big chick. I'm thick. I like my food. I love my tortillas. And I'm in my 40s. Like, I started at 39, 40.
Okay.
I started modeling. I never expected to be able to do that. It was not part of my plan originally. And I kept getting requests, and at different times, I've been busier with modeling than I have with acting. And so it's just to give people hope that, you know, it doesn't matter how old you are. I know people in the industry in Dallas that just started modeling when I did. So it's only been 2 or 3 years, and they're in their 50s and 60s, and they look phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure they're like going backwards in age. Like, they look great. Every time I see them, I'm like, girl, you look like you're in your 20s. And it's hysterical. So I want to give people hope and help break the industry standards that, you know, you have to be in your teens and super tiny, because that's not the case anymore.
Yeah. But how?
And then with acting, I want to grow. I want to be able to put stories out there that are believable and help people, really, because I see a lot of depression and anxiety in the world. I think it's like far more rampant than what people like report. But I just want to give people hope that things do get better and life does change. And so I'd like to be a part of those kinds of stories.
Yeah. There might be some role models, some idols that you've been following. Do you want to speak a little bit about that? People who inspire you.
Model? Yeah. I don't know. There's nobody that I really follow like just nonstop. Here lately, I've been watching season 3 of The Umbrella Academy, and Adam Gallagher, the guy who plays 5, is such a wonderful actor. Like, I mean, he completely embodies the spirit of a 55-year-old man, even though he's a teenager. And he's so wonderful at portraying all the emotions and just everything as that character. Like, I would love to be as great as him one day.
Yeah. But what is the meaning of being an actress? I mean, the fact that you need to portray someone else's life, and you need to embody that. So how do you analyze, how do you define this process of being an actress?
I do a lot of script studying. Right. I do a lot of script studying. So not only do I read my portions of the script, I read the entire script and I try to think about all the wide range of emotions this character is going to feel and what they may be confronted with from the other characters in the story. And honestly, like I'm about to be 42. I've been through a lot of stuff in life, so a lot of times it's not hard for me to consider where was I in that mental state at that time during whatever it is that I was going through, so I can bring that back. Like I have an uncanny knack for putting myself back into a different place in time so that I can feel those emotions and live it.
Yeah. Do you still remember the first step you gave as an actress? I mean, when and where did it all begin?
Oh yeah. It was 3 years ago. Almost 3 years ago, and it would be it would be next month. It will be 3 years next month. I got an extra role in a film that actually just was shown at Cannes. And they casted me as a teacher, which I was like, I do that every day. That's not acting. So yeah, I was a teacher, and we were doing a scene for a funeral of a student. Obviously, I can't say too much about it because it hasn't been released to the public yet. But yeah, and it was. I mean, like I said, I'm a teacher every day, so it wasn't very hard for me to transition into the role. But yeah, I remember it, and it was nice because I got to be a part of lots of things with that project. Like I was an extra, and then I got to help behind the scenes. I was part of the crew, and then I helped plan the premiere, or the red carpet release for the crew and whatnot. So yeah, it was really cool. It was nice to be a part of all sides of the project, especially it being my first project. So it was really cool. I learned a lot on that set.
Yeah, but do you still do you feel satisfied? Do you feel happy for what you have been doing so far? I mean, when you analyze your path,
absolutely.
when you analyze the opportunity you have had, you feel like, well, I'm doing something great here.
Absolutely. I don't think that any of it has been for naught or just kind of a waste. I really do learn every time I'm on a set. I learn all kinds of stuff. I try to take in as much as I possibly can. I've also been allowed to direct some stuff, so like I'm loving it, and I'm living my best life. To be honest, I'm enjoying every minute of it, whether it's creating props for set or being a script supervisor. It doesn't matter. Like I love a challenge. I love learning new things. I want to know all the little pieces of everything so that I can be an asset to whatever set I go to.
Yeah, there might be some kind of challenges in the process. What are those? Can you speak a little bit about those?
Oh yeah. Sometimes when you go to set, you're not really like, they may change things up. A scene may get changed or whatnot. You may end up not being able to film your scene. I know I was part of the feeding of the 5,000 on The Chosen last month. So, you know, when you have 5,000 people on set for any kind of filming at all, it's a mess. There's a lot. There's a lot that could go wrong. There's a lot of downtime. But it just depends. Like you can plan ahead of time what you think it's going to be like, but you don't know until you get there because there's so many moving pieces when it comes to filming.
Yeah.
You just got to be ready for whatever. Have an open mind and an open heart and a smile on your face, and things will be fine.
Yeah, but talking about the set, can you share a little bit some projects you've been working on, you've worked on, and the emotions that you still remember from the set?
Oh yeah. Like I said, when I was on The Chosen, it was, and I'm not an overly religious person, but seeing Jonathan Rumi deliver his lines as Jesus and being right there and sitting right in front of it was amazing. He's a wonderful actor. I think he really embodies his character as Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, Amazing to watch, wonderful to watch. Um, I remember doing a scene with Shahar Isaac as well, in just such a sweet person. He doesn't know me from anybody. I'm a complete stranger to the guy, but after doing the scene, he walked back and shook my hand and said thank you, and I'm like, whoa, like that's crazy. Um, I was on a set last weekend, so a week ago, um, doing a short with some friends, and I was a zombie, and I got to like attack a friend of mine. That was hysterical, a lot of fun. I've played a zombie several times, but never in this capacity where I'm like taking somebody down. So that was great. I had a lot of fun with that. Um, it just depends. I mean, some characters are a lot of fun to play, and others, like, you enjoy doing it, but
Mm.
you have to be really in your emotions. I did a short, I want to say a year and a half ago, and it was titled 10 Days. And it was about a mother trying to get an extension on her daughter's hospital stay because she's dying. And being, playing the parent of a child who's terminally ill, like those emotions don't just go away just because you're done filming. Like, I was sad the rest of the day just thinking about what if that was my kid for real and the doctors wouldn't keep my kid in the hospital. Yeah, it takes a toll on you. It
Yeah.
does deeply affect you when you have to take on those characters.
Mm. Yeah. But what makes you unique when you analyze yourself, and because sometimes you might compare yourself with different actors, different actors. So what does make you unique as a professional, as a model, as an actress?
Okay, well, first off, I was born to be different, period.
Yeah.
I know I sound very Texan, and it's because I've been here my whole life, but and I love being in the country. But my mother's Hispanic and my father's Iranian. So most people don't know that. They look at me and they're like, "Oh, she's Mexican." No, that's only half of my story.
Mm.
Um, I did a shoot about 6 months ago, and I played off of both sides of my heritage because of it. So when it comes to family, when it comes to views on the world in and of itself, on religion, on politics, like I'm very, very different because of my upbringing, and I have family all over the world because of
Mm.
that. So I look at things different than most people would.
Mm.
Um, I'm just different. Like I'm weird. People tell me I'm weird all the time, and I'm cool with that. I like weird. So um I make jokes about everything.
Mm.
Everything. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna make a joke about it. If it seems like it's something that's gonna like upset me, I will turn it into a joke because
Yeah.
I'd rather laugh about something than be upset about something. Um like I said earlier, I'm not your skinny mini tiny woman at all. I'm short, but I'm not I'm not super thin. Um I'm older. I've raised kids already. I have an adult child. Like um I think just I've taught thousands of kids at this point. Like I've had a part in a lot of people's stories and
Yeah.
helped different things. So I bring a wealth of different knowledge to the table when it comes to acting. I don't keep myself closed off in a little small box in the world,
Yeah.
and just, you know, I'm out there. I'm in the public. I'm doing things. I'm going to baseball games for students. I'm supporting people every chance I get. Like I'm just I'm different than what your typical actress, I think, would be. They're very closed off
Yeah.
and keep their lives private, and I'm not like that. I'm very in your face. This is what I'm dealing with today. Let's laugh about it. That's just me.
Yeah, I think teachers have a special role in the world because you're responsible of building different minds, the minds that will certainly transform the world or help us change the paradigms. You make me remember somehow one of I had a friend. She actually passed last year. She's from
I'm so
Mexico.
sorry.
She's from Texas. Doris Taylor. I met her in 2008, and she taught me about rapid population growth,
Hmm.
topic related to environment, etc. And I think it's interesting when you see people who are very focused on helping
Hmm.
others to enlighten their paths, to help to help others to find their well, because sometimes I think many people don't even know what they are willing to be in the future. But if you give
Right.
them that advice, that golden advice, you might be giving the wings so they can fly freely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The one thing I tell my students all the time is there's nothing you can't do
Hmm.
at all. You're the only person that sets limits on yourself. And the second piece of advice, and I think I say this one more often only because it's sixth grade and everybody's going, like, they all have these hormones raging through them and everybody's worried about me, 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 me. And I'm like, okay, but it's not about you. Like, so I tell them to always be kind because you never know what somebody else is going through.
Yeah.
You know, they may not be somebody who shares, they may not be open about it, but they might be going through something worse than you've ever had to deal with. So the best thing you can do is just be nice to them until you figure it out.
Yeah. I would like to know how do you analyze the role of women in the film industry?
Um,
I mean, do you think you're getting the same opportunity as men? Do you think there's still some limitation? How do you see the whole thing in the film industry?
I think, and this is just in general.
Mm,
I can't speak a whole lot on the film industry because I've not been in it very long.
okay.
But I can speak to just in general, like, I have friends who are politicians. I'm in the education world. I think women are still viewed as creatures who are emotion driven.
Mm,
And I think that anytime that there's a lack of opportunities when it's between the sexes, I think that has a lot to do with it. Um, and I think a lot of times, if you see a woman who's viewed as strong, it's because she doesn't show her emotions.
mm,
She's closed them off to public display. She might still feel them at home, whatever. But I think that she's had to learn to shut that part of herself off where it doesn't necessarily show on her face. She doesn't have any outbursts or anything. Um, because that's what's socially acceptable.
yeah. But
So
what
I think
message?
that plays a big part.
Yeah, yeah. What message for women, young girls around the world? Because I'm asking this question because particularly here in Africa, we
Hmm.
see different scenarios. We have a different case of earlier marriages. We have a lot of cases of women in particular giving up on school, etc. Which
Hmm.
message do you leave for these young girls, for these women all over the world?
Never stop. Never stop living out your dreams. And if that means that you have to, give up on something, school, whatever, for a little bit, go back. Don't ever just throw it away.
Yeah,
Education is one of the greatest gifts in the world. It really is. Um, I myself, I hold a double master's, like, and I
wow,
put
that's
myself
great.
through school for that. Yeah, I've been to college for a very long time. I honestly, if I could find a way to pay all my bills, and still go to college, I'd be in college for the rest of my life. There's so many things I want to learn about.
Yeah.
Education is key. And I'm not saying that necessarily is just through college. Like you can get educated on something by having a conversation with people who know about it. Like, I'm not saying you have to be in college, but being able to learn and being teachable are some of the most valuable things that you can offer yourself.
Yeah.
You don't know everything.
Yeah. Now you might be a kind of a library, you know, those the kind of people that if you just have 1 minute with them, you learn so much in a few minutes,
Absolutely.
and you live that moment with so many advices, so many things to reflect on, and above all, it's a kind of chance to open our minds. When you have someone who can give you advice, who can enlighten your mind, I think we are in a crucial situation that somehow we don't even know how to follow our dreams, to follow our goals, to achieve the thing we want to achieve in life. And if you find someone who can train your mind, someone who can give you that kind of motivation, I mean, it's a kind of a likely. And I see in you that kind of person, someone who could certainly give that kind of hope to someone who can say like, oh, keep punching, you will reach there.
Right. Absolutely.
So can you tell me about that movie that impacts your life? The movie that you think of and say like, wow, I love that movie. I love that actress.
It's not an actress. It's Adele, the singer.
The singer,
She's been through a
okay.
lot. Yeah, she's been through a lot in life. A lot, and she's shared about her journey with depression and heartache. And I mean, a lot of her music is that, but she keeps going, and she completely turned her life around. Like, I mean, it's amazing, and she just seems like a fun person to be around. So
yeah, no, I actually love Adele too, and she's amazing as a singer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Lora, it was a pleasure to have you here on Chats with Legends.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope to have you in the next episodes and learn a little bit more about your next activities, your next jobs, and maybe share about your next achievements.
Thank you so much. I'd love that.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day. See you in the next opportunities.
You too.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have you there. Today we had this pleasure, this magnificent moment with Lora. We had a chance to know a little bit more about how Planet is an actress, as a model, as a makeup artist, and we had the opportunity to know a little bit more about her career, I mean, about her life as a teacher in Corsican in Texas. So thank you very much for being there, for being part of this chat. Hope to see you in the next episodes of Chats of Legends.